Hey, for legal reasons, everything here is alleged. Let's go.
Don't touch his doctor unless he asks.
Herschel Beam IV was an avid Halo player under the name Diarrhea Panic. Thankfully, when he created a YouTube channel in 2010, he went under the name Dr. Disrespect instead. Beam would upload Call of Duty videos and gain significant attention, but when he decided to move over to streaming in 2015, he would become world famous. Then in 2019, he got a temporary ban from Twitch for streaming inside a public bathroom. Then suddenly in 2020, he was unexpectedly permabanned from Twitch with no reason being given. It remained a mystery for 4 years until a Twitch employee tweeted out that it was cause he sexted a minor using the site's now defunct DM feature. Doc would later confess to this, leading to sponsorships cutting ties with him and his reputation damaged beyond repair. Colleen Ballinger made videos under the character Miranda Sings, a parody of bad singers on YouTube who were trying to make it into Hollywood. The character took off and gained over 10 million subscribers, but thanks to having the right Hollywood connections, she became a mainstream star. She had her own Netflix show and made appearances in Wreck-It Ralph, Victorious, and Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. She definitely learned something from those last two, cause in April of 2020, a former fan named Adam McIntyre would make a video claiming she was acting inappropriately with him, even mailing her underwear when he was as young as 10 and she was in her 30s. Colleen would respond with a traditional sorry not sorry video. This incident would be largely forgotten until 2023. Another former fan made a video showing screenshots of her asking minors sexual questions. This led to Adam sharing more of his interactions with her, as well as several old videos of her acting weird around kids resurfacing. Her PR team told her not to comment on these allegations publicly, but Colleen found a loophole. Technically, she could sing her side of the story while playing the ukulele, so she did, in a video that denies the claims with zero proof. This would go down as one of the most out-of-touch responses to anything ever. It was mocked by everyone, and now playing the ukulele is synonymous with fake YouTuber apologies, which sucks because it was a cool instrument and it's forever ruined now. Bryant Moreland would create the account EDEPC445 in 2010. Yeah, he'd obviously have to abbreviate that name. He made rants about his favorite sports team, the Philadelphia Eagles. That's where the eagle in my name comes from. As well as how he'd shit in toilets and rank his 200 favorite corn stars. Somehow, nobody questioned this behavior. In fact, he became quite a respected meme figure, gaining over 2 million subscribers. But it would all catch up to him in 2020 when an underage fan shared these messages she received after asking for a personalized video for her boyfriend.
Lucy, you better show me some fucking titties. I don't give a fuck. Like, talking about you want me to wish that nigga happy birthday, motherfucker. You better show me some fucking titties or something.
Oh my god, EDP, like, she's 14, like, she's 15, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck if the bitch is 1, motherfucker, like...
Bryant would respond, essentially claiming that they were just jokes. Some fans believed him, some didn't, but it overall didn't have much of an impact on his career. Soon though, a bombshell would drop. In April of 2021, a duo of predator hunters would pose as a 13-year-old girl and get a DM conversation going with him. After a string of really creepy messages, he scheduled to meet up in a parking lot to do God knows what, only to be confronted by the poachers. Bryant would make the ever-iconic excuse,
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
His channel was banned by YouTube, though unfortunately, due to the incompetence of the poachers, he faced no legal consequences. After this, he would try to apply for traditional jobs, but people kept a watchful eye on him and would always make sure the places he applied to knew what kind of person he was, effectively making it impossible for him to get a job. This would continue on, and not much would happen until 2023 when he got caught a second time trying to meet up with a minor by Gideon. This time though, he could actually face punishment, though this has yet to be revealed.
Mr. Shadman, draw me a
chick.
Shadai Pregene is a popular not safe for work artist who would upload speed paints of his work to YouTube. A lot of the characters he drew were underage, which was bad enough, but he would soon escalate this to a new level. In 2016, someone asked if he was willing to draw Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter having intercourse with Donald Trump, and he actually vowed to do it only if Trump won that year's election, which he did. And so the art piece was made, and people were horrified. Keemstar threatened to take legal action, and only after being pressured by Colossal's Crazy, a YouTuber Shad liked, he took the drawing down. The next year, he made art of a real-life child actress being assaulted, this time unprompted. Her lawyers would send him a cease and desist. But eventually, he got arrested, not for being a PDF file, but for attempting to kill someone. It would later come to light that he was connected with a lot of influential people. Most notably,
I'm wearing ladies' underwear.
Kris Tyson was a longtime childhood friend of Mr. Beast and was even his first subscriber of over 300 million. He would appear in videos alongside Jimmy and his friends throughout the years. In April of 2023, he made national headlines after coming out as transgender, now being called Ava Kris Tyson. Many were skeptical since this came shortly after a divorce, leading many to believe she abandoned her wife and kid to pursue this lifestyle. This is false, as several pictures show her with him after the fact, though that would have honestly been a preferable outcome with what would soon come to light. A YouTuber would make a video discovering that she was a huge fan of Shadman, even hanging his art on her wall, on top of other artists who drew corn of literal child characters. Then some disturbing Reddit posts resurfaced, and several people would come out with evidence that she groomed them. There was even a giga leak of over 500,000 messages from her Discord server, which had lots of inappropriate discussions while minors were present. Mr. Beast would announce that she was fired from the company, though this scandal has had a massive butterfly effect on his empire. Claims of all sorts have come out about him. One such allegation shows that they hired and tried to cover up a registered sex offender whose victim was 1 to 11 years old. But the crazy part is, this individual was brought up before this wave of allegations by Kris Tyson. Excuse me, friendly fire will not be tolerated, Mr. Beast's friend. But not only that, one of the earliest whistleblowers about Kris's behavior was EDP445. You're on the same team. Come on, guys. Learn to cooperate. Okay, all jokes aside, this whole Mr. Beast situation hurts badly. I was inspired by him. I wanted to make my channel into a billion-dollar empire like him. I don't know if I still do. Never meet your heroes, I guess. How about a lesser-known one? This guy might just be the dumbest predator in the world. Earl Doobie spent his time making music videos themed around My Little Pony under the name The White Bowser.
Give me my 2017 contest trophy and I'll show you. Oh, praise the Lord Jesus Christ, I'll own you. Yeah, be a savage like Bowser.
Truly high art here. He remained largely unnoticed until one fateful Discord call when someone, for some reason, asked, "What kind of not safe for work are you into?" Earl responded without hesitation, saying Chihuahua on a Monday and Freezing, 2 anime that star high schoolers. This was a huge red flag, so people did some digging into him and found Bowser owned a Discord server where he would reward minors who were doing well in school by sharing hentai. And to complete the trilogy, a Reddit post where he confesses that he got fired from his job at a movie theater for groping an underage co-worker was discovered. He titled it The Day My Life Turned Into an Anime. Earl would make videos constantly trying to justify all of these things, completely making an ass out of himself.
And you know what? I didn't stream porn to children, you idiot. I did not stream porn to children. I streamed cartoon hentai to children, you idiot.
He called the theater chain where the groping incident took place under a pseudonym, asking if you had to be 18 to work there, as if that completely vindicates him.
What is the minimum age you have to be to work at an Imagine movie theater location?
I want to say 16, but let me double check real quick.
And yes, he uploaded this himself, even though he was proven wrong. He did this 3 separate times. He got a comment that simply said, "You probably shouldn't return to the movie theater," and he interpreted it and he somehow read it as a bomb threat. So he called the police into the theater. YouTuber Kiwi Tapes would start a podcast with him for even more people to laugh at his stupidity.
Yes, you are. You are full of shit.
Bowser, we can. Okay.
You are full of shit. I am not a pedophile. I am not a predator.
You're a predator.
I do not have to deal with your crap, you sick, depraved, degenerate.
Should we give otherwise unknown figures who exhibit harmful behavior a platform purely to laugh at them? I'll let you be the judge.
Ahoy, SpongeBob! I've overdosed on ketamine, and I'm going to die!
Medea Sadak created the Twomad channel in 2016, uploading chaotic edits of Overwatch clips at the game's peak in popularity. It proved to be so successful that he dropped out of high school to pursue YouTube full-time. His growth would only accelerate after this clip of his became a meme.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
But his absolute peak was when quarantine rolled around. Due to schools being closed, classes switched to the online video chat service, Zoom. Twomad would livestream himself popping into these sessions to completely disrupt them. With his channel thriving more than ever, he would leave abruptly, instead devoting his time to Twitter. He had a crippling addiction to Twitter, posting hundreds of tweets a day. Most of them were complete nonsense. Eventually, the tweets started getting edgier and edgier for attention, culminating in a tweet claiming that Brianna Gay, a trans 16-year-old who was murdered, was his girlfriend. This caused more outrage than anything he had ever done before. He would retract it by saying, "I didn't know she died. I just thought she was hot." It was the perfect opportunity for a user named Goldie Bell to talk about her experience with Twomad, claiming she faced all kinds of abuse, harassment, and assault to the point where a restraining order was filed. During all of this, he still continued his goofy Twitter antics and would outright laugh off the allegations on live streams. It turns out he was abusing hard drugs throughout this time, and in February of this year, he died of an overdose while playing Overwatch. He is finally reunited with his wife. Who wrote this in the script?
Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Onision blew up in the early days of YouTube thanks to his "I'm a Banana" song.
I'm a banana, I'm a banana, I'm a banana. Look at me, man!
He sure was lucky we had lower standards back then. He'd follow it up with other skits and amass quite a sizable viewer base, especially for the early days. But it was not long until his unhinged behavior started showing. He had constant meltdowns, and his ego was so massive he tried creating his own religion. He would preach about veganism to an extreme degree, yet he mistreated animals, and was such a hardcore atheist that he used the murder of a singer to preach about it. Pick a struggle, my guy. And then there was the Predator stuff.
Hey guys, I'm gonna teach you something. How to groom yourself.
On a side channel of his, he had a series dedicated to rating his fans' bodies, which consisted of underage girls. His actual relationships had massive age gaps, with a few being 17. Then in 2019, several fans came out with grooming allegations. I never would have guessed. This got the FBI and even Kris Hansen involved. Onision would harass the staff of Kris's YouTube series, Hansen vs. Predator, to get him to stop. When they refused, he filed a lawsuit, only for it to be a different guy with the name Kris Hansen. The real Kris Hansen made a documentary about him, and the victims would sue him in 2023.
Cats like mouses, cats like meat, cats like boxes, cats like sleep.
Shane Dawson was one of YouTube's earliest stars. Starting out, he made skits. Remember when every big pop culture moment had low-budget Smosh-type skits parodying it? We should start doing that again. Anyway, his humor was very vulgar, often relying on offensive stereotypes and a lot of blackface. But he would soon enter the belly of the beast, Los Angeles. Every influencer here must be progressive and squeaky clean to not lose any Hollywood deals. Shane's humor would not fly here, so he switched to documentaries about conspiracy theories, which ended up being his biggest success up to that point. But it wasn't without people digging into his past and finding his unsavory humor. He would always cave in, giving a generic apology tweet or video, which is a death sentence for any creator. The most infamous example being when a clip of him on a podcast talking about relations with a cat resurfaced. He wrote a desperate string of tweets apologizing, but he would never be able to live this down for the rest of his life. But it was the blackface videos that would ultimately lead to his downfall. In 2020, after the killing of George Floyd, race relations in America became a heavily discussed subject, and Shane's old videos were brought into the spotlight again. This is where the Predator stuff comes in. Amidst his older videos were countless instances of him joking about kids in a creepy way. The two most notable being a video of him pleasuring himself to Will Smith's 11-year-old daughter, which actually got the family involved, and a video of him talking inappropriately to a 12-year-old girl. This was the final straw. He lost subscribers en masse, his entire channel was demonetized, and 2 books that he wrote were removed from store shelves. Eventually, though, he would come back to YouTube, but to far less fanfare, only getting...
That's still more than me! Doctor, I think I might be a homosexual. How can you tell?
James Charles is a beauty guru who was one of the first men to gain prominence in the field. Growing up, he was bullied for his homosexuality, but would soon find comfort in YouTube. After developing connections with mainstream celebrities and collaborating with beauty brands, his numbers skyrocketed. But like Shane Dawson, he found himself within the confines of Los Angeles. He was scared of ending up like Shane, so he would constantly apologize for even slightly offensive statements. Then, in 2019, at the height of his popularity, a collaborator named Toddy Westbrook uploaded Bye Sister, a hit piece claiming that he tried to trick a man he knew was straight into believing he was gay. This caused him to lose over 1 million subscribers in just one day, a record that has yet to be beaten. This, at first, was followed up with a half-assed apology, but he would then delete it and upload a video completely debunking everything. Then what was the point of the first video? Whatever. His channel swiftly recovered and everyone turned against Toddy. But then, the truth came out. In 2021, a 16-year-old named Isaiah made a TikTok about how James sexted him. He would deny this, saying he didn't know he was underage. Then others accused him of similar behavior, sending unsolicited pictures of himself. With the accusations piling up, James would make a video holding himself accountable, in which, yes, he did recklessly send unsolicited, inappropriate messages to 2 minors, but he stood by not knowing their age. Regardless, he lost brand deals, he lost friends, his monetization was temporarily removed, and now he only gets a fraction of the views.
But again, it's still more than me!
Dude, you're a fucking cuck.
In 2013, Nicholas Kendibalinthasi began his channel, Sneako, as a kid making Call of Duty videos. For 2 years, not much happened, but in 2015, a philosophical monologue video would go viral, gaining him a couple thousand subs. He ended up getting noticed by none other than Mr. Beast back when he was a small YouTuber. The two became good friends, with Sneako eventually appearing in a Mr. Beast video. That makes 3 predators that have been on your channel, Jimmy. Why did I look up to you? Well, it didn't matter, cause after one video together, their friendship fell apart. Interestingly, Sneako made a video trying to expose Mr. Beast after leaving, but immediately deleted it. Given everything that's recently come out, I wonder if Sneako is in the right. He would switch over to political content, which was successful at first, but he would quickly throw it out the window in 2020. That year, Netflix released the movie Cuties, which centered around children in suggestive situations. This sparked massive outrage towards the streaming giant. Sneako, however, decided to be a contrarian and upload a video defending it. His channel took a hit because of this. But he would soon find success again in 2022 when Andrew Tate would explode in popularity. To capitalize on it, Sneako basically stole his whole gimmick of being a masculine tough guy expressing degrading views towards women. Then the mask fell off once an old clip of him admitting he watched his girlfriend have sex with other guys resurfaced. Much like Tate, he would get banned on all mainstream platforms, relying on sites like Rumble to stay afloat. On his live streams, he would debate subjects subjects like the age of consent. Moist Critical would make a video mocking him, leading to the two having a feud that lasted years. Recently, the two had a debate where Sneako argued in favor of child marriage. While he hasn't had any direct interactions with minors, opinions like his definitely weren't a hard drive check.
A new record!
How did it take this long to get to a Minecraft YouTuber? Demetrius, also known as Jikishi, was a typical Minecraft streamer who saw little success at first. Then in 2021, he would hit the jackpot and be rated by Dream, followed up by a $2,000 donation. He started pulling in much bigger numbers, so he made a video introducing himself to all his new viewers, saying things like,
"It's time for my lore. I'm a cat boy." Yeah, means I can do cat-like things and boy-like things. I can meow if you want.
The FBI couldn't get that shit out of me. He would later get invited to the Dream SMP, and at this point, his career could only go up. He was admired for his attempts to create a safe and welcoming community, with him removing one of his mods after they made comments on the subject of self-harm. I mean, admitting you're a catboy publicly seems like self-harm, but I digress. Then in October 2021, user Valxy would post a tweet claiming that when she was 14 and Jikishi was 18, the two exchanged explicit photos. Another user would come out with a similar story, and another one, and another one. Another one. By the end of the week, he had over 40 allegations against him. That has to be a YouTube world record. Dream would quickly remove him from his server, and Jikishi would completely vanish from the internet. Also, I guess I should acknowledge Dream's stuff. He had 3 fans allege that he groomed them after his face reveal. Their evidence was messy, with contradictions everywhere and names conveniently cropped out. But Dream had become a fun-to-hate figure due to his immature online behavior and rabid fan base, so the internet rolled with it. He would later prove it all as lies, but people still tend to joke about it from time to time.
I love kids, Charlie! I love kids!
Austin Jones was a musician who would make covers of punk songs, as well as a few of his own original works. He made 5 albums and garnered a sizable 500,000 subscribers. Little did people know, though, that the only reason he chose to make punk music was to gain access to the genre's main demographic, teen girls. In 2010, when Austin was 18, he would DM his underage followers asking for videos of them twerking and stating their age while doing it. He was confronted about it in 2015, in which he responded by threatening to sue the individual. That year, he was scheduled to appear in the band's Warped tour, but stepped down when a petition to get him removed started gaining traction. To ease the pressure, he came out with a classic non-apology, claiming he was depressed. This is a very common scapegoat for predators. Shockingly, his growth was not halted in the slightest, which must have made him think he could continue getting away with it. So he escalated things even further by asking minors for straight up nude. This was enough to land him in prison, and in 2017, after a police investigation, he was sentenced to 10 years in jail for possessing CP. 2 years later, his YouTube channel was terminated.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Don was an elderly man who started his YouTube channel after retiring from his plasma cutting job. It was one of the only things that brought him joy, as he had been dealing with medical issues that would sometimes land him in the hospital. He would make all kinds of vlogs around his home, the most popular of which being his rap songs.
68 years, still as humble as ever, killing the beat of passion, no matter what the weather. Age is just a number.
And covers of songs, some being for kids. Don showed gratitude to every one of his subscribers. He would shout them out in videos and would even ask for their address to send them autographed pictures of himself. People saw him as one of the most wholesome creators on the site, until a Reddit user dug through his history and found out he was recently put on Ohio sex offender registry for performing acts towards a juvenile. Why do that? Don't you have the Ohio Riz to get a woman your age? his community immediately turned against him, leading him to announce he was quitting YouTube due to his declining health. He would pass away in December of 2020. Cody Ko was a Vine star with over 2 million followers, but after the app shut down, he migrated to YouTube uploading commentary videos. He would meet fellow YouTuber Noel Miller and the two would collaborate on their flagship series, That's Cringe. The duo would be named Tiny Meat Gang and also start a podcast together, getting big names like Post Malone on the show. Cody was admired, so much so when Jake Paul made comments criticizing him, he received over 800,000 dislikes and Cody's channel would experience massive growth. But it would all come crashing down when YouTuber Tana Mojo stated that she and Cody had sex in Florida when she was 17 and Cody was 25. A witness, Gabby Hanna, would confirm this, and after analyzing videos from around the time of the incident, it was clear that something was up. After a video by D'Angelo Wallace brought more attention to it, he lost 250,000 subscribers, and Noel Miller would cut all ties with him. Cody has remained completely silent on all avenues since. Hello, so if this is your first time watching this video, this is actually a re-upload. The last video got taken down for child safety concerns, which is bullshit. You've been watching this video, you know it's against exploitation. Allegedly, this came as a result of the guy that was supposed to come here between Cody and the next guy mass reporting it. So to ease the risk, I've cut them out of this video, but I will upload the segment to my second channel. I'm not gonna let a degenerate like him silence me. So yeah, on to the next segment.
Holy crap, I'm in Fortnite!
This look is all you need to know. RaulZito was a Brazilian Fortnite streamer who would appear on Latin American television. He would regularly interact with children on stream, inviting them to his lobbies, and even making this his banner. On the surface, he seemed quite wholesome, but it would soon come to light that he was anything but. In 2021, a mother filed a police report claiming her son was sexually abused. An investigation traced it to Raul, where it was discovered that he had been grooming kids into earning potential TV opportunities. At least 7 other children reported sexual abuse. Raul would be arrested and sentenced to 15 years in jail, while Twitch banned his account. Supposedly, the ages of these kids were as young as 10. Nah, throw this guy to the sharks. I hear they like cotton candy flavor.
Pablo was not a very good man. He liked to have sex with small children.
Craig Thompson started his channel MiniLad in 2011, uploading typical 2011 videos. Call of Duty, Minecraft, Amnesia, whatever you felt like that day. But eventually he landed on Call of Duty trolling, which proved to be massively successful. Then he would get noticed by Vanoss Gaming and was invited to join his group, which was thriving at the time. Soon Vanoss's numbers would carry over to Greg, peaking at over 5 million subscribers. But in 2017, he stopped playing with the crew. He claimed that he left because Vanoss would only play Gmod, but his tone made people think there was beef between him and the group. Then he changed the story, claiming that he was kicked out. Then Terrorizer would come in and say that he left because he could not handle being trash talked. Vanoss and friends basically carried Craig's channel, so leaving the group led to his sub count stagnating. Eventually, he'd go on hiatus due to mental health issues. A while after, he'd resume uploads, but he would soon lose everything once 2 fans came out with their experience. The victims, Haley and Ash, would detail that Craig DM'd them sexual messages when he was in his 20s and the 2 were underage. MiniLad even planned to meet up with one of the girls. Once the subscriber loss began, Craig would respond blaming mental health issues again.
Green for Dai Denogla, red for Vanoss Gaming, blue for H2O Delirious, and orange for Mooney Lad.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Alex the Lion, what the hell are you doing in my car?
Marcus Wilton created the LionMaker channel in 2013, uploading Minecraft videos. Thanks to his family-friendly content and collaborations with big names like Stampy, he amassed nearly 800,000 subscribers, or as he called them, Cubs. His intentions were made clear in September 2015 when a mother approached Keemstar of all people, claiming that her daughter was asked for inappropriate pictures by him. LionMaker was 27 at the time. Marcus would claim that he was hacked and in jail for an unrelated offense, but 2 more minors would come out with similar experiences. One of them was offered $500 for his pictures, the other being a longtime collaborator of his, Paige the Panda. He would have a complete meltdown on Twitter, culminating in him posting one of the illegal pictures he had. After an interview with Colossal is Crazy brought more attention to the situation, he was arrested in 2016. 1 year later, the channel would see some uploads by someone else pretending to be LionMaker, but YouTube was not having it, so the channel was taken down. When he finished his sentence in 2019, he would start streaming, wherein he would get drunk out of his mind and go on unhinged, incoherent rants. Obviously, this didn't win people over, and they still saw him for who he was, a creep. So he ultimately left the internet altogether.
A real Texan would have dodged that.
Mechawreck was a Team Fortress 2 YouTuber who made typical gameplay videos. He peaked at 14k subscribers, a pretty good amount for the TF2 community. On the surface, everything seemed harmless, but a vague tweet regarding drama in his Discord server raised some concern. He said, "Normally I would reopen it, but I am gonna be like Valve and not do this a 3rd time." It would later turn out that said drama was him preying on minors at the age of 19. A 12-year-old victim would receive DMs from Mechawreck asking him to send clips of him moaning. He would claim this predatory side of him was his dark side. He would subtly admit to this child that he jacked off 4 times a day. Eventually, he'd start talking about his dispenser, an item from TF2, as a euphemism for his private part. This same language was used for another 15-year-old who he got to draw inappropriate art of him, saying, me wrecked like dispenser from Squad Citadel II. Me hard boy now. This dude is a cartoon character. That conversation would end when he asked for nude pictures of the teenager, who would instead block him, thankfully. Then, a 3rd interaction with a 16-year-old entailed much of the same, except he revealed that somehow he had a girlfriend, yet he was still doing this. He kept this up for a total of 5 victims over the course of a single month. When this inevitably came out, Mechawreck tried to get his friends to defend him, saying he was wheelie sowie guys, but it was no use, so he deleted his entire online presence. Obviously, that wasn't all of YouTube's predators, but come on, that would take centuries. This was more than enough for one lifetime. What video is next? Aw, fuck!